What's up? How are you guys today? We are live on Instagram and YouTube from the EMF bed canopy that you can get on WiFiShielding.com, which will not protect you if you're standing next to a power line or circuit breaker, but you won't have to worry about the router or cell phones being used near you. We're just going to do something quick and easy today, talk about whatever you guys would want to, whether it's health, nutrition, and probably end the discussion talking about trannies as we usually do. I guess we should have like I really need to write up that script for the context at the beginning of each live stream, just to briefly explain everything going on in the first like 2 minutes, so we just have stuff that we don't have to cover over and over again. Or maybe I should say it like 5 or 10 minutes in after more people join the live stream. So you went vegan, the world wants to know. Yeah, it's interesting. The comments I got on that video today were interesting. One, it tells me people don't really know as much about health as I do. Even the so-called experts. So maybe later this year or next year when I come out with my new book, it's gonna be something that no one really brings on a large scale. But we'll see. It's not something I'm comfortable writing yet. I like when I did COVID vaccine and its adverse effects. We could talk about that. But just real quick, when I what was I going to say? When I wrote my book, The Ancestral Indigenous Diet, that was after basically studying health and nutrition for 7 years. So I was comfortable with the information I put in that book, which was about I think did we launch the book last year or the year before? I think the book was, I don't even remember. It was either December of 2019 or December of 2018. I think it was December of 2019. Yeah, no, it must have been December of 2019. So that's when I launched my book after I already, studied nutrition and followed the diet for 7 years. And I was comfortable doing that. So if I was to write this next book, I wouldn't be comfortable. I don't think I should be doing it after a year or two of following my new diet. I think I'm going to give it about 3 years. Unlike the carnivore dieters that, aka the carnivore MDs, that followed the diet for 6 months, then wrote a book and were top sellers on Amazon. So since we don't have gay boy Freemasonic connections, we have to do it the legitimate way. Someone asked about the COVID vaccines and its side effects. The only thing I really have to say when people bring up vaccines is that they did the exact same thing in 1918 with the Spanish flu. They faked an illness. They said everyone was sick. They said everyone had to wear masks. Same exact thing happened. But people weren't actually getting sick until they vaccinated people. So basically, what this whole past year has been is a giant psychological warfare operation to get you in enough fear to take a vaccine. And the reason I'm 100% sure of that now is how hard they're pushing this vaccine. I didn't think they would do this shit. This is really weird. Like how hard they're pushing the vaccine, how many celebrities and people on TV they're getting to get injected, like how much they're gang stalking people and psychological warfare and gaslighting people to get injected with the vaccine, and how strong this vaccine agenda is. It's very clear what the past 8 months has tried to do. It's to get people to take this vaccine. And the reason they need to get people to take this vaccine is because they need people to consent through natural law to getting sick. And by consenting to taking this vaccine, after all you've seen and the lies and stuff, the people that get the vaccine are the ones that are going to ultimately get sick. And that's going to be the real first virus. And are they going to infect other people? I don't know. All I know is that the reason they want to vaccinate people is to get them sick so they can have a real pandemic. What are your thoughts on milk protein concentrate? I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's dried milk protein is it's like a whole food. So if you took milk powder instead of whey protein, you're basically getting the fats and the carbohydrates and just overall more nutrition when you take milk powder. We were actually going to sell organic grass-fed milk powder on Frankie's Free Range Meat, but we decided that we didn't really want to. You can't really make it into a protein bar because it naturally has perfect energy ratios. So it's 80% of calories from fat and carbs, and it's 20% from protein. Milk is naturally like perfect energy ratios. So if we wanted to make it into a protein bar or something, it would be almost impossible to do, because if you add stuff to it, you throw off that natural energy ratio. I'm using a canopy without shielding bottom, the worse than not using it at all. It depends on what's below you. Like here in this room in my house, it's the garage, and I test the levels in here, so I know nothing's coming in here. The worst case scenario would be like a worst case scenario of using a bed canopy where you don't shield the bottom is like you're in an apartment and your neighbor has a router right below you and it's coming up through the canopy. But you can just get some very cheap material to shield the canopy. Look up pathogenic priming, Frank. That's how the vaccine will kill people. Well, I mean, vaccines the flu shot is known for weakening your immune system so you actually get sick. I don't think your main channel is going to grow organically. Nothing to do with your shadow ban. There's no focus on your channel in the sporadic topics, which will be hard to garner true supporters. That's a pretty poor attempt at gaslighting. And if you're going to say that the reason my channel isn't growing has nothing to do with shadow banning, you're absolutely delusional. When YouTube takes away 7K of my subscribers because I made fun of a vegan Victoria's Secret tranny. I literally make a video about San Floy. I make a joke about her shoulders, you know. I mean, listen, if I said what I really wanted to say, they would just ban me on YouTube. If I said what I really want, I just made a joke about her shoulders. I put her in a football uniform, and the next day YouTube took away 7,000 of my subscribers. And from a business perspective, I understand why they would do that. San Floyd is a Victoria's Secret man with 1 million followers and subscribers, and they don't want me pointing that shit out. I understand why they took away 7,000 of my subscribers. It's ridiculous. And to say that my channel is very focused. It's either about it's health and nutrition. You're not going to find any video on my main channel that isn't about health or nutrition, and there's some lifestyle stuff and vlogs in there as well. And just from a YouTube logistics perspective, the average YouTuber does 1, 2, or 3 videos per week. I'm doing 7 videos per week. I'm covering 5 or 6 different topics every week. So why wouldn't my channel grow more than everyone else? I do as much content as cooking channels every Saturday. I was trying to do fitness stuff for a year. It didn't work because I was heavily shadow banned and censored. You know, the only thing I didn't try to do was like fitness day in the life vlogs or that type of stuff. But it's become the reason that never happened was mainly because of COVID. I think if COVID and coronavirus didn't happen and people were actually still in the gym and working out, I would have had a chance. But now, basically, coronavirus kind of ruined my bodybuilding transformation or chance at becoming a fitness YouTuber, which is fine. I don't care because I got plenty of other secret business plans that I'll get rich off of in a year or two. Who are you calling gay boy, Frank? All you talk about is Wi-Fi. You have a genetic disorder. I mean, I've probably done one video on Wi-Fi for the past month or two every week. And before that, I talked about it occasionally, maybe once a month. But in the context of health and lifestyle, Wi-Fi is above everything else. And honestly, I should talk about it more. I should mention it. I should mention it in every video. I should say at the beginning of every video, hey, if you're watching this video on your cell phone, you should definitely buy a direct wire connection, and then you can wire your cell phone and keep it in airplane mode and safely watch the live stream without blasting yourself with radio frequency radiation. The pandemic has come back to Ontario, Canada today. Can I schedule a call with you? Yeah, on frank-stefano.com. Electric stoves emit a lot of EMF. Wouldn't you be destroying the nutrients in your food? I don't know. What do you mean by electric stove? Do you feel like the carnivore diet was better for body composition than your current diet? The most important thing for body composition is your workout routine. If you have, I think I broke even with the fitness course. I was selling the fitness course on my website, frank-stefano.com, for I think $35, and I paid $1,000 to have it made. And I told the guy that initially he wanted more. I think he wanted like $2,000, and I was like, listen, dude, if I pay you $2,000 for that to film and edit this course for me, I'm probably not going to make my money back. And I was right. So thankfully, I was right that I got him down to $1,000 to do the fitness course. But and I don't really want to talk about the fitness stuff because it just aggravates me with everything that happened in regards to it. From the gaslighting and gang stalking pertaining to you're using steroids, which is completely ridiculous. Honestly, I kind of want to use steroids just to get to 200 pounds in like 6 months and then fucking show people, say, hey, this is what happens when you actually do steroids. 2, there was no real traction despite, I don't really want to the fitness stuff. Other fitness influencers, Jay Cutler, Mike O'Tren, all those people saying the same exact thing as me and getting praised for it and views has to do with them being in the algorithm, them being in the club. I think the easiest way to get more attention is by doing is X bullshit or is X healthy videos on trendy things like kombucha. No, that's definitely on my list. Listen, I try to do that all the time, but the problem is when I do that, when I've done that recently, the topics I talk about are usually shadow banned. I mean, I know that's something I want to do on a weekly basis, and I did that this week because I did a one other thing, like you just said, do like an is X healthy video. That's a good way to get views. Well, this week I did another thing that's good to get views, which is, you know, like a number thing, like, oh, 5 best pregnancy foods. Oh, 7 ways they're poisoning babies. That's another thing to get good views. It's simple. It gets the point across. That's what I call a Dr. Berg style video. I normally don't like doing stuff like that, and initially I didn't want to do stuff like that on my channel because I usually feel like I can contribute more information. But what I do instead is I clickbait the title with that shit, and then I actually put the information I want to put in the video. Like on Monday I did, why do pregnant women crave... No, I did what I eat in a day to lower inflammation. That wasn't too clickbaity. The why do pregnant women crave pickles and ice cream? I thought that was genius. 7 ways they're poisoning babies was great. I mean, I think if you look through my thumbnails and video title, I'm comfortable saying if you look through my thumbnails, my video titles, and everything, the content of my videos, I have the best content bar none on YouTube in the health and fitness space. The combination of everything, the content, the thumbnails, the titles, the information, the presentation, the upload frequency, nothing comes close. At least I don't know about them. Frank, you literally have the best bar, LOL. You know, when I named our energy protein meal replacement survival bar the best bar, I was pretty confident that it was the best bar there is, but I was kind of talking out my ass a little bit. After I tried about I've tasted about every protein bar in the supermarket now, I'm comfortable saying that we do have the best bar on the market. The only thing that I need to do is I'm just laughing because I had a joke in my head. We just have to add a little more berry powder to the berry, and then that's fine. So what I'm laughing at is someone asked in the chat, "Did you get Hitomi for Christmas?" And I was gonna joke, no, but I dressed up an Asian boy as Hitomi, and it was just as good. Hey Frank, I heard your brother has a girlfriend. He seems like a cool dude. Yeah, I don't know if there's 2 possibilities. 1, my brother is brainwashed, or 2, he's actually a Freemason and he's gaslighting me. There's 2 possibilities there. Cause like my brother's like my dad, where he does like my dad, where he doesn't believe in the Wi-Fi, EMF, and other stuff and conspiracy theories. But the difference between him and my dad is he's a lot more. I think he's more intelligent, and I mean maybe not just more intelligent, but he's younger, so he knows. He's more relevant. Your videos only appeal to people above average intelligence, and most of the people on YouTube are slightly retarded. I'm not even sure how I found your content. It was just pure luck. Well, you're saying that, but I think Dr. Berg's videos are excellent too. I think Dr. Berg's videos are way above the average intelligence of people. But, you know, Dr. Berg has, I think, 5 times as many videos as me, but he has 50 times as many subscribers. So there's definitely some algorithm shadow banning stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say that Dr. Berg's videos are at least 70 to 80% of the quality of mine, from an information perspective. The difference is he'll do like 2 or 3 videos. The guy's nuts. He does 2 or 3. I mean, listen, Dr. Berg has a whole fucking team. He doesn't edit his own videos. I'm sure he doesn't write his own scripts, but he's still putting out 2 to 3 videos that are high quality content every single day. Any remedies for your skin at the moment? I mean, I don't know why people talk crap about my skin. I just have I get like 1 pimple every 2 or 3 days because I didn't drink enough water, but it's nothing crazy. I need to really look into buying the vitamin D bulbs and getting some type of tanning setup in my house. I was actually going to go to the tanning salon this week just to clear my face up. Justin, I only let I only let funny trolls stay in the chat that want to gaslight me. The problem is like the secret society people, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, they're usually not that intelligent, so they're not funny. Dr. Berg's on Adderall. He doesn't talk that fast, does he? Do cooking streams on Twitch. I think we're gonna play. I think I'll try playing League of Legends on Twitch. I was really addicted to League of Legends like 5 or 6 years ago, and I tried playing some games, and I'm still pretty good. I mean, obviously, I'm not nearly as good as I used to be in the context of what's going on now. I don't really want to talk about that on the stream. If we what we'll do is I don't expect to get that many views either, but maybe in a week or two, I would say maybe next week or the following week. The following week, I'll probably start streaming League of Legends 1 or 2 days a week instead of a live stream on YouTube. Is it bad to use a canopy without grounding wire? But why would you use a canopy without a grounding wire when it comes with it? Play Fortnite. I'm not good at FPSs on. The game is a time suck. I love to watch Frankie shit talk kids on stream. I mean, no, I used to play League of Legends a lot. Now I'm more like the difference between when I used to play, like I was better when I used to play, but I didn't sit down after every game and say okay and take down notes of what I can do better. But I've been playing League for the past week, and all I can basically say is all that really matters is your team. I would say maybe 1 out of every 4 or 5 games you can make a difference and win the game, but usually most of the time you need to have a decent team to win the game. You know, it's 5 versus 5 players, and you're only one person. Did you try improving your cardiovascular fitness yet? No, but I have to because I was like out of breath walking up my stairs today. Frank just got your clothes. I'm now proudly wearing my head net as I drive. Yeah, I mean, people should. I mean, you should definitely feel a difference and notice how you feel. League of Legends is actually bad now. New item changes are actual garbage. Everyone is complaining. It made the game a lot different. The problem with I don't know if I'm right or not, but it seems like the problem with the item changes in League of Legends is not like when you used to play the game, a lot more characters that you could play were viable. Like you could play pretty much any character you wanted if you were a good player and win the game. Now with the new items and the new setup and the new jungle and everything, there's only like 5 or 6 champions you can play in every game. So you're literally pigeonholed into playing 1 or 2 champions. Otherwise, you're basically gonna not do as well in your role. Do you think you can run a mile in under 6 minutes? Maybe I could sprint a mile in like around 6 minutes, but I don't train. I'd probably feel like I was gonna die afterwards. Which antimicrobial protocol do you recommend? I mean, that's something you'd have to email me for because it's in depth. Do you think there are masons on computer games that make sure many high-level elo streamers aren't pestered by normies and trolls, so they throw milestone elos like high plat and high masters in games? Well, I mean, on the professional level, like League of Legends professional level, I would bet 100% the games are fixed. Like the LCS, all that shit is definitely fixed. It's certainly fixed. But is there targeting of individual accounts? I think they just have a shit like actual solo queue and that type of stuff. No, their system just sucks, to be honest. I think what happens is if they see you're a good player, you will intentionally get with paired with lower tier players and be forced to kind of carry them every game. But I don't think there's any like. There's definitely that stuff like secret society bullshit on Twitch and at high level professional sport, all professional sports or anything where money's on the line or popularity's on the line. Yeah, I've just been a little anxious trying to get the I don't know if we're gonna be able to get organ supplements back up and running. A couple logistical issues. I basically ordered the bovine powders from New Zealand like 6 months ago, and they're still not here yet. So, not too optimistic. Where can you point me in a direction where you can get good EMF raw material for shielding under bed? Yeah, just go to Home Depot or like a hardware store, and the aluminum window screening will shield Wi-Fi EMF. It's like $20 or $30 for a big roll of it. There might be some like copper fabric you can buy too, like copper EMF fabric. The real way to shield below you is actually to just paint the ceiling of the room below you. That's more realistic, because obviously like putting a mat down or a sheet of metal or something like that's not too what's the word, like looks good, like it's in the middle of your floor. It's not too aesthetic, like putting a mat on the floor where your canopy is, or having to put metal mesh on the floor. The ideal is you get some paint or wallpaper, blocking paint, and you shield the ceiling of the room below. If I don't eat fish, would cod liver be sufficient enough? I mean, usually people can throw their vitamins out of balance eating that every day. It's possible to get enough K2 without eggs or dairy. How did Native Americans do it? They had much healthier gut microbiomes. They weren't in high Wi-Fi environments, so that helps with synthesizing K2. They ate a lot of fermented meats every day. K2 is from fermented fat, so it's animal fat too. It doesn't have to be eggs or dairy. Training to be more athletic? I mean, I don't really care, because when you know that everyone takes steroids, it's ridiculous. When you understand how many people take steroids in every aspect, it's just discouraging. Like some 40-year-old dude like that has 100K Twitter followers bragging about how he works out and he's in such good shape and he's injecting testosterone up his ass. They should force people to put a disclaimer. There should be a law where you have to put a disclaimer in your social media post that you take TRT or drugs. Otherwise, you can get sued. Even if it's doctor prescribed HRT, you should still have to put it in your post. Like any post referring to your body or musculature or you can get sued. They should do a law like that. Because the average person is stupid enough to believe that not everyone is using steroids. What was your favorite power move in sports or lifting? I don't really. Like that's hard to do. I don't think anything is really that hard to do if you practice at it a little bit and you're in decent shape. Is there an option for a single bed canopy? That would be the twin. The twin canopy is a single bed. Watching your video on a tree, what does that mean? Is it important to get enough collagen to balance out muscle meat? Is that just bullshit? I've done, I think, 2 or 3 videos talking about how collagen is agrochemical waste. One video is titled Collagen is Bullshit, Methionine to Glycine Ratio. It's titled something like that. And then I did a second video, I think it was titled like Collagen is Agrochemical Waste or Collagen is Poison. Just explaining, and the reason I did that was because so many of these carnivore dieters and keto dieters are trying to sell agrochemical waste powder as a health food. I don't know who that is. Are you holding Bitcoin or Ethereum? No, I don't trade stocks. I don't trade Bitcoin because I know it's just a bunch of Freemasons insider trading. And because I was fed a soy formula when I was a baby, the male part of my brain didn't develop that's able to do the analytical stuff. Like Bitcoin went from 18K to 25K over the past 7. Like I thought Bitcoin was going to crash again. But that's the thing. You don't know when you don't know when to buy, when to sell. You don't know what these Masons are going to do, the secret society members are going to do, unless you're insider trading. All stocks, all this shit is insider trading. I would never buy any of it. I would never trust any of it. It's 100%. Unless you have the brain and you're really good at analyzing the trends that they do, then most of it's just a bunch of Freemasons insider trading. It's very simple. There, 1% of the stock market is that is the people that are doing well, and that's because they're all insider trading together. And I've talked about this on a lot of live streams. Like there's no telling. You don't know what they're gonna do. You don't know whether to buy stocks or options or when to do certain things. Ethereum is extremely undervalued. I mean, I don't trust. I don't trust. Like, I've had people talking to me about Bitcoin every week for the past 3-4 years, and no one told me to sell right. But no one said to sell right before it crashed from 20K a year or two ago. No one said to buy when it was 4K in the beginning of the pandemic. No one seems to tell you about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency when it's important to actually buy or sell, and that's because they're a bunch of insider traders. Chainlink was spammed on 4chan and had lots of occult numerology connected to it. As I said, if you have the brain to analyze those patterns, those numbers, the gematria, all the nonsense these people do, yeah, I mean, if I knew that, if I had the brain for that, I would 100% do it, but I don't. Well, Zach Hubbard, I think, is a Freemason just grifting, trying to steal people's money. I think he understands gematria more than he hints his viewers, and he actually knows what is going to happen, but he doesn't say the truth because he can't. That's it. I'm with you. Investing is pointless if you aren't in the club. Well, no, I didn't say that. I said if so. You have to understand when you're in development, like when you're a baby, when you're in the womb, and through early childhood, your brain's supposed to develop a certain amount, and if your brain doesn't develop a certain amount, you will simply just not be as intelligent in certain areas. And depending on what parts of your brain end up developing based on the hormones you're exposed to in those developmental periods, that will determine whether you're, the male side of the brain is basically like really analytical, math, good with the stocks, and the female side of the brain is the intuition and that other stuff. When is Roderi coming? I don't know. It might be a delay on that. Some things happen. You think it's possible that the vaccine will not be mandatory so that a lot of people get the injections, feel sick, and then the media starts to say that there's another COVID? That's exactly what I said earlier in the live stream. I said earlier in the live stream, they did the exact same thing in the Spanish flu. People weren't actually sick, just like people haven't actually been sick for the past year because the flu was eradicated. Now people are going to get vaccinated. They're injecting people to get them sick. Now people will get sick. And yes, as you said, the deception will go on indefinitely for years and years and years because people are too stupid. And I've talked about this too much. My mom forced me to be a vegetarian until I was 3, and I can understand technical analysis. It just takes time. No, but you have to understand that the people that are trading stocks look at this shit and they just see it. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to analyze stuff. They just look at it and they see it. Their brains work differently. And one advantage the elite have over the masses is if they poison people, if they damage people's development, if they make sure that they don't get the nutrition during developmental stages of life, people don't even have the brain function. And that's why, you have mentally disabled people who, some of them are in such an unfortunate state, they literally just sit in the chair their whole lives and they can't think. And if anyone thinks that abides by natural law or that person can, I mean, it's completely, people don't understand that there's not just two drastic ends of the spectrum. There's everyone in between too. They'll say there's a new strain and that we need to get vaxxed again and again. They're already saying that. They're already saying, oh, there's new COVID every year. You have to get injected every 6 months or some shit. Is religion a good example of law of attraction, like kind of the placebo effect? Like if you truly believe God will solve your problems, you manifest that? I'm not religious though. Well, the law of attraction is true to a realistic degree. Regardless of how much someone believes that God is going to come down and help them, there is still doubt in their mind that because they like even the most devout Christian, if someone had a gun to their head, they're not going to start praying to God. Like they know God, they know like it's hard to like do they believe God? Do they truly believe God exists? That doesn't really matter. But they definitely don't believe that God is going to come down and stop that bullet from going in their head, because they know from fact throughout the 50, 60, however long, how many years they've been on this earth, that God has never come down and saved someone from getting a bullet shot through their head. So when someone when someone thinks God is going to come down and save them from the coronavirus, they're delusional. When people say, "Oh, will God solve my problems?" the idea is that I think something along the lines of like, you pray to God to give you strength to solve your problems, not to actually solve them himself. But I think a big part of Christianity is not about a big part of Christianity and the deception and just all religions in general is most people aren't praying to be empowered themselves. They're putting their faith in the hands of someone else. Saw your cookie recipe. Why do you use glucose instead of xylitol or stevia or erythritol? Because those are chemicals that are highly processed. And the point of eating a food is to give your body fuel. I got thrown out of a train for not wearing a face diaper. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not against the law. I don't think they passed laws yet to make people wear. So I think if you were, sitting in, I think if you're in a public place and weren't wearing a mask, I don't think they could force you to wear one. I mean, but honestly, what they could probably do is they could say you're causing a disturbance or something because everyone's freaking out because you're not wearing a mask, so they'll get you somewhere else, even if wearing the mask isn't illegal. Obviously, they could say, oh, well, going on a train without a mask with 50 other people wearing masks is interrogating people. Should I supplement copper, magnesium every day? Most people need to supplement a lot of things. Michigan is a $500 fine. I'm sure there's logistically, like, I don't think it's probably not written in the law, so you can probably get it thrown out, I would assume. The same way glucose is extracted from plants, making it processed, so is xylitol and stevia. Well, no, you have no idea how the glucose I use is made. That's completely incorrect. Christians will hate you for following Jesus's path. I was watching Mark Passio's what's it called, his seminar again the other day, and one thing he said about Christianity was, just ask a Christian, how did Jesus die? And they'll probably know Jesus was killed by the Romans. Yeah, he was killed by the Roman government. The government killed Jesus. Like, who killed Jesus? The police killed Jesus. That's why it's called a police state. Like, and right now we're being controlled by the government, and the same, allegedly, you're listening to the same powers that would have killed Jesus, basically. So being a Christian is a little contradictory. Thoughts on Mark Passio? I think some of the stuff he said, I think the natural law stuff is correct. I just don't understand what he's doing himself. I haven't listened to a lot of his stuff. A lot of the rest of his stuff. Some dude at a grocery store I was in got thrown out for not wearing a mask. That's private property, though, so I think they can do that. Did you hear of the new strain in England? I mean, that's been going for 2 weeks now, I think. They're recommended at my local Walmart. Not that I shop there, just went to go barefaced with my masks or for sheep shirt. Yeah, well, another aspect of divide and conquer is that they're getting people that wear masks to fight against people that aren't wearing masks. So we're basically fighting amongst each other as opposed to fighting who we're really supposed to fight. Like, what's the point of fighting a brainwashed individual when the person has them on strings? I stopped respecting Mark Passio after he spouted off on the Anunnaki. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to prove whether stuff is true or not, or know what the truth is. They're saying the vaccine will work on the news trend in the UK. I mean, the belief is that the vaccine is going to make people sick, so we'll have to see what happens. Do videos on how to avoid fluoride in most consumer products. I don't know. I don't think I've actually done a video on fluoride itself. I've talked about fluoride in a lot of videos, but I don't know if I've done one video on it. Frank joined Life Force. It's an assembly app for us to fight back. Anna, are you the person that keeps recommending me like the you're the person that keeps emailing me like the psyop and the incorrect information? All I know is that if there's an app on the store for people to fight back, it's definitely an app they're using to track and gaslight and laugh at people that actually think they can do something. Have you seen the people getting necrosis on their feet after getting the vaccine? I haven't seen that one yet. There's no point in fighting against brainwashed people because they appeal to emotions, not rationally. No, there's no logic. There's no logic whatsoever. The reason the people were brainwashed in the first place is because they can't think logically. They fall victim to the psychological warfare, emotional manipulation by the media. Although fluoride in large amounts is dangerous, not the small amount in products. Well, it's about, it's not that simple. The way they poison people with fluoride is they put it in the water, they put it in the toothpaste, they put it in food, and that seems to be enough. So what do you mean fluoride in large amounts? What is a large amount of fluoride? Oh, what time is it? I think we'll go a few more minutes, guys. I'm just a little tired today. Has your histamine intolerance improved since quitting carnivore? I did a video on how to fix histamine intolerance. Iodine flushed out allergens, including fluoride. Yeah, I have taking iodine fairly consistently can help. Adrenochrome thoughts. It's like a distraction. Saying that the elites take adrenochrome is like saying that a murderer. It's like saying a murderer steps on bugs. I think that's a pretty good analogy. Saying that the elites use adrenochrome is like saying that a murderer steps on bugs. Yeah, obviously, harvesting adrenaline blood from people is a pretty evil thing to do. But these elite people, they're in charge of all the negative and evil things that have gone on in this world. So them doing something like that is a drop in the bucket. Just like someone who's a serial killer or a murderer stepping on a bug or killing an insect is insignificant to what they're actually doing. Like you're saying, like it's a distraction. You have a solution for Hashimoto's, both high and low thyroid. I think I did a video on the thyroid a couple months ago that you can watch. But if you guys have any more questions, let me know, because I'm going to go maybe lay down a little bit. In Holland, fluoride is banned from water. Yeah, there's some. Basically, if you look at the symbolism and how America was formed, it's pretty obvious that America is supposed to be the world stage for a lot of poison nonsense. Because if you look in other countries like the European countries and a lot of countries that basically aren't America, they're all getting stimulus checks every month for more than our initial stimulus. Like they're getting checks for $1,500, $1,000 a month. Like everyone is in these other countries. Their water is actually clean. You can drink it. Their food isn't poisoned. They don't spray shit on everything. It seems like America is basically, and if you understand how America was formed, basically with Freemasonic and secret society roots, that explains a lot of things. One of my family members is a vegan and has been pushing the diet on her baby. I mean, you could send her 20 articles that show vegan diets kill babies and they still won't care. Why do you still live in New York? Because I don't have any money. What am I just gonna move? Well, I mean, I could just move somewhere else and rent out someplace. Problem is, I can't I can't physically sleep in high EMF environments, so I'd have to. If I decided to rent something out, I'd have to. Basically, I can't afford to move out. To answer your question, if this is why I'm in New York. Frankie's Strange Meat, do you have to place an order by Sunday night for it to ship the following week? If you place it Monday, we might ship it on Tuesday. But if you place an order like Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday night or Wednesday, you have to wait till next week. Doesn't grandma have money? You guys don't understand. I could show my parents I wish if I could show my parents like, oh, even if I did like, even if I was pulling in like, which I'm not, if I did something crazy like $10 million in sales on whatever company I had, and I asked my parents for money or help with a loan, they would say no. It's just their mindset. They're very negative. They always think the worst is going to happen. When I ask my parents for help with anything, it's just they're in a very negative mindset, which is also why they're kind of brainwashed with this stuff. Like one time I remember when I used to ask my parents about my businesses, they were like, "Oh, well, same thing with my taxes." Like my parents were like, "Oh, you're going to get audited." My parents always run to the worst negative case scenario. So, I've had to do everything on my own, unfortunately. You guys are telling me like buy a shack or go off grid. Like I have businesses that I'm trying to make money with that I would be unable to operate if I was in a shack in the forest. Like people saying that shit like literally have no brains. I don't understand why people keep saying stuff like that. EMF shielding panties. I already went over this. You can't. The EMF clothing has to be a certain size in order to block the waves. And I guess we'll end it on this note. One interesting agenda I've noticed is I think obviously a bunch of secret society, Illuminati, Freemason assholes trying to gaslight people into ruining their health. And I don't even know why I would bring this up because it's not even worth entertaining. But maybe some people have heard of it. There's a myth going around that I already debunked in my video showing the levels in the shirt, but some people made up that, oh, well, if you wear Wi-Fi blocking clothing, it just bounces around inside. And they're trying to, it's crazy to me because those people are actually physically trying to get you to not wear the clothing. In my video where I showed, if you just wear a t-shirt, the middle of the t-shirt by your organs and liver is 0 EMF Wi-Fi, even with a cell phone right next to you. So there's literally agendas. There's literally, basically against every single thing I do or talk about, they literally make counter agendas to get people to dismiss them. All the gym equipment in your garage has to be like $5,000. I'd sell that shit. I mean, it doesn't really matter because the $5,000 is charged on a credit card and I'm paying it off like $100 a month. So even if I sold the gym equipment, it's just not enough money to look. I'm at a weird position where like I don't have enough money to buy a house or start or like expand my businesses, but I'm not like broke, you know? I don't have tens of thousands of dollars, but I'm not like broke. Like I'm okay. Like I'm just there's a difference between being able to afford to live on your own and just having enough money to buy food every week. We have your warriors in our bug out bag, hoping we don't have to leave our home. Well, you're fallen victim to the fear mongering nonsense. If they do anything that's planned, they just want to keep you in fear. OnlyFans. I mean, the problem with OnlyFans is it would directly compromise my businesses to the point that then the reason I did OnlyFans is out the window. Because imagine if you do I'm not like these other losers that do OnlyFans. These other people that do OnlyFans have no fucking business sense. They have no work ethic. They have no creativity. They have no intelligence. They have no Can't believe that gap-toothed roid rager made a video calling EMF products junk. Who are you talking about? If you're talking about Corn Faker, that's actually fucking hilarious. I'm assuming you're not talking about him because I don't remember him being gap-toothed. But the fact, I mean, look, I don't tell people. I've always said, hey, you don't have to believe me about EMF. Just go sleep in the woods one day, and the next day go to New York City and tell me EMF is fake. I've told my story about EMF products over and over and over again. I discovered EMF because I moved my router next to me to play video games when I was younger, and I got insomnia, and I found out that the router emits EMF, but I wasn't heavily affected by it. When I used to go down, when I used to drive from my grandma's place in the Bronx, which was still relatively high EMF, to Manhattan, to bartend every night, I would get headaches and stomach aches, and when I got back home, I would be fine. And I tested levels in Brooklyn and Bronx, and the EMF tends to be way lower than Manhattan. So I discovered EMF through personal experience, and eventually I realized how some people with severe health issues can really be exacerbated and caused only by EMF. And I, as I've said in my videos over the past few weeks, Wi-Fi EMF is a more significant lifestyle factor than diet, exercise, and everything else combined. Think about it. I mean, using Fukushima or Chernobyl as examples are ridiculous, but if you're next to Chernobyl radiation, even if you run every day and eat the healthiest food possible, you're still going to die from radiation poisoning. The same thing applies to Wi-Fi EMF. It's just lower levels of radiation. What would you even do on OnlyFans? Probably play with all the dirty girls on OnlyFans, to be honest. The people who do OnlyFans are usually shills, aren't they? Well, look, there's secret society members in every single aspect of life. I may have, what was it? I mean, if you all the time on Instagram, these girls that have OnlyFans, if you look at their social media, you'll see obvious stuff like tattoos. Like, you'll literally see triangle Illuminati symbolism tattoos in their pictures or in their videos, and they'll have OnlyFans. So people, to answer your question shortly, yes. There are secret society assholes in every single aspect of everything. Do you think EMF can have more detrimental effects of some people than others? It's dependent 100% on your liver function. And I can go into details on that, but I haven't had the time to comb through Ratboy's videos for plagiarism recently. I'll probably do that sometime next week when I make his other video on... when I make another video following up with the lawsuit, I'll be sure to include probably the 10 times he plagiarized me this past month. It's just too much work, honestly. It's just, this guy never stops plagiarizing me. It's going on and on and on. And I just don't like answering certain questions because of that. Because he'll take one, like, he's ran with, Ratboy has ran with the quote, animal-based diet. And that's literally why I titled my book, The Ancestral Indigenous Diet, a Whole Foods Meat-Based Carnivore Diet. And when I was titling that book, I had to choose between the word animal-based or meat-based, mainly because I was worried about them copying the other one. So I said, okay, meat probably sounds better than animal-based. But then they just copied animal-based anyway, and they're running with it. So the plagiarism is absolutely disgusting and ridiculous. And even just me saying one little thing, they'll take it and try to make a whole $10,000 campaign out of it. Do you trust your lawyer? If he's on your side, he shouldn't want you to take down your website? No, but I mean, this guy knows the law, and I figured I could at least file an answer with him, and then I can get someone else that actually cares. Can EMF alter your mind? Yes. The mind is energy. They can literally shoot beams at your head to change your thoughts. That's why I sleep in a metal tent. I believe stock markets and Bitcoin are predetermined. Normal people only lose money. Yeah, you just missed the about 20 minutes ago. I was talking about how the stock markets and Bitcoin are all a bunch of Freemasons, insider trading, and how the average person will always lose money. Yeah, we explained that earlier. EMF makes people antisocial as hell. Yeah, definitely very high anxiety. They can change and read your thoughts. Yeah, I mean, people will say you're crazy. People will say you're crazy when you say that they can read and control your mind with EMF. But what does a cell phone do? If you call someone on a cell phone, how the hell is that cell phone is sending? How do you think it works? The cell phone is sending an invisible signal across the world, hundreds of miles away, to send someone a message. If a cell phone works like that, why can't they send the same beam at your head to change your thoughts? You have to understand, are the telephone companies trying to turn us all into fairy boys? Yes. I always get a headache after staying even 5 minutes near the router, and I also get a dry cough. And that's before I knew about the correlation between 5G and dry cough. Yeah, over the past few months, sometimes when I go down to Manhattan for a couple hours, I come back with a dry cough for a day or two. It's just radiation poisoning. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap this up because we've actually made it 50 minutes without talking about trannies too much, which is a miracle. So thank you guys for joining me today. I have to at some point try to organize this channel a little better. But maybe what we'll do is in a week or two we'll try streaming on Twitch and see how it goes. Don't vaccinate your cat. We said that last time. All right, guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.